Great, we're live. Welcome everybody to the Yunus and You final pitch competition. It's such a pleasure to have you all here with us. My name is Marcela Lessa. I'm the program director from Yunus and Youth, and I'm based in Brazil. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you here with us today, watching from all over the world. So we're very excited to have you here and to be starting this pitch competition with you all today. Before we start, I'm going to share with you a little bit about us. So Yunus and Youth was founded in 2014 with the support of Nobel Peace Prize laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus. We exist to empower young leaders to build, develop, and expand social businesses that are promoting economic advancement and reducing unemployment around the world. Since 2014, we have trained over 8,000 people who are running 300 social businesses, impacting 25 million people in 76 countries. Our community is diverse and comes from all over the world. So our fellows come from 56 different countries. 1 in 7 identifies as LGBTQIA+, more than 2/3 are people of color, and more than a half are female founders. The YNY Global Fellowship is a highly customized program for young social entrepreneurs around the world, accessible from wherever they live and work. The program is based in 4 main pillars. So number 1 is the individual mentoring, relationship and expert mentors. We also have an on-demand platform with curated content for them to follow. We have an amazing community for support and networking, and then we end our program with a final pitch competition, and this is happening today. Before we move on, I want to thank our amazing mentors. So for the past 6 months, the fellows have been working with fantastic mentors coming from Citi, Goldman Sachs, and GE, a connection we got through the Generation Impact organization. So thank you, all of you. And today it's our final pitch competition. So this will be an opportunity for our fellows to present their businesses to a panel of expert judges that will be presenting to you in a bit, sharpen their presentation skills, test their pitch decks, and win amazing prizes. So going a little bit about the activity today, each fellow will have 5 minutes to pitch and 5 minutes to answer questions from the judges. The 3 pitches that receive the highest scores from the judges will be awarded. Later on today, I'll be saying what they will win. And we'll also have something new this year that is the audience favorite. So everyone watching us on YouTube, very soon we'll share a QR code for you guys to go in and vote for your favorite pitch. And how will we evaluate all of these amazing entrepreneurs, right? So we'll be watching for their target market and customer. How well does the plan show an understanding of the market? How well is the customer defined? We'll also be looking for their problem or need. Is the idea addressing a real problem in the community? Does the customer have real pain or unfulfilled needs? We'll also be looking into their solution. Is there a new and unique value to the solution proposed? Is it better, faster, cheaper, simpler, or better quality? Is there a clear customer need satisfied? We'll also be looking into the competitive advantage. Is the entrepreneur aware of the positioning of their product in relation to its competitors? We'll also be analyzing their business model, if the business can make money, if the pricing strategy is properly outlined. We're also going to check if the plan is scalable. So how viable is the solution? And of course, because this is a social business pitching competition, we'll be looking into the social impact, if it's clearly outlined. And finally, we'll be also analyzing their presentation skills and their storytelling. So for the past 6 months, these incredible entrepreneurs have been training, have been receiving a lot of support. And today is the final day. And to help us check all of these pitches, we have amazing judges here with us. So we have Davor coming from the United Kingdom, Maria from Denmark, Augustina from Argentina, Ram from India, Arunav from Singapore, and Matthias from Germany. Thank you all to these incredible judges who are here with us today and will be asking questions and evaluating these presentations. So without further ado, if we're all ready to start, I'll be inviting the first entrepreneur to start their pitch. Fantastic. The first entrepreneur who will be pitching today are Tahana and Tarim from Borosha. Ladies, please share your screen whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Marcella. I will be sharing the screen. Just let me know whether you guys are able to see it, right?
We can see it.
Okay. Wait. Wait. Do you guys see the option of sharing this? Oh, yeah, right. I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous. All right. I am joining today here, but my co-founder Tahana, she couldn't be here because her father is in a very upsetting condition. I will be definitely missing her in this very special moment, but let's begin. So I'm Tarim. I'm the co-founder of Borosha. Good morning and good evening, everyone, from wherever you're joining. So here we see, Here we see Ms. Bilkis. She is 31 years old, living in Korail, the largest slum in Bangladesh, which is situated in the capital city. She is working as a maid, and despite having different set of skills like sewing and cooking, she had to come to Dhaka, migrate, and become a maid. And such women are at 33% in these slums. And with the work that she's doing, she's earning about $100 per month and have 3 to 5 children who are dependent on her. And then we see HR of a company, which is a corporate company who has been having a lot of trouble, faces a lot of issue to hire such blue-collar employees. And the process that she has to go through by talking to different kind of Asian middle person takes different kind of rates from her when they're placing such women in such companies as janitor, cook, or guard. It's kind of a very hassleful process. And then whenever it's placed, they don't stay for a month or more than that, and very low retention rate of women blue-collar employees are seen. And in this process, in such corporate companies, a woman quota is also not fulfilled, which is required by the HR to some extent. And this is exactly how the scenario of Bangladesh is in its informal working force, which makes up to 80%. And in this working force, 92% jobs are available for women to do, but we just see 20% female participation. And that's exactly where Borosha comes in. We are bridging the gap by connecting the employer and employee, and we are trying to develop an automated and transparent online job sourcing platform for these informal employees. We are data-driven. We are finding the right tools to find the right skills for Bilkis. And we are aligning SDG 1, 8, and 10 with the corporate values. So having a localized and customized matching database, first, we are onboarding the female employees, which we are connecting directly to the business so that we have a B2B model. We did onboard 50 females whom we would want to connect as janitor, cook, chauffeur, and guard. And then we have the female entrepreneurs in this Korail slum, which we onboarded, and they have their own businesses where they earn more than $100, sometimes nearly $400, with whom we can share the commission by supplying them more clients. Now, the thing is, these employees are onboarded by using agents who are placed in this informal settlements and uses our website to actually onboard them and have a listing and catalog made. And after that, that listing and catalog can be seen by the corporate employers who has their own dashboard, and the matchmaking occurs for the type of workers they require. So these women do not just have to be garments worker or maids in households. So an employee actually who was unemployed is now employed, right? A female worker. And the entire process for the companies are hassle-free. And they can take our service with like 3, 6 months or 1 year projection. Now, just imagine this is something we're doing for one informal settlement, and if we can do it with the three total largest in our capital and the entire Bangladesh, it would be a market of 36.26 billion, contributing 43% of the GDP, tapping in an unpenetrated market, making these jobs much more available, and of course, providing a time cost and effort efficient way. Now, to make our dream come to reality, just starting with a pilot of $1,000 can help us grow in the next 1 to 5 years. We can start generating revenue with nearly $30,000, have 2 companies and successful 135 connections that can have at least 5x growth in the end of year 3 to 5, where we can begin with a break even, gaining up to $55,000 plus. And we have 250 possible connections, making us reach 80% of our target. To have the growth in where we would be partnering with government, have HR payroll system as well, and also microcredit scheme for these female employees. Now the team is me, Sahana, who has had experiences in startup and impact background and have worked very closely with this woman in rural and also urban area. We have our tech lead, Emily, who is an aspiring Cornell student working from tech background. Till date, our organizations have supported us as founders as through grants as well. We have received grants from Adidas as well as Impact Hub Munich too. So let's empower women to empower the nation. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Charlene. Congratulations. And now I'll open the floor for our fantastic judges to ask you a few questions. And while we do that, I want to remind the judges to please put in your scores in the forms we shared with you. Okay, Augustina, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. First of all, it's a beautiful presentation. You are an amazing entrepreneur, so congratulations. And I would like to, if you can go deeper in the business model, how you will make revenue, if you please explain a little more.
Thank you, Augustina, for the comment and feedback. So basically, our business model is in 2 ways. One is that we are collecting from the corporate companies whom we are providing workers. So whenever we are providing female workers, we have, for each company, we're giving them 15 workers as janitor, cook, or guard, and we are providing them in a subscription model of 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. So that is our one way. And the other B2B model that we have, where we are working with small, medium-sized female entrepreneurs within this Coral slum. These women earn more than $100. They're usually tailors. They have their own jewelry businesses or even artisan work. So they are willing to share with us a commission of the amount that they earn, which is also adding up to our revenue stream. In the future, we're thinking of B2C model. So the website that we're developing, people can come and order one on a daily basis or even a monthly basis as well. But we still haven't developed it, but it's there in our pipeline. Thank you.
Go ahead, Daver.
Yeah, hi. I was just interested in whether you have the social impact KPIs as well listed somewhere, or if you can mention them.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
I'm interested in the social impact KPIs.
Okay, so it's been 8 months that we launched. So we have connected with 5 women and onboarded 53. Our marketing funnel, like till now, we have reached out to 250. And the Coral slum that we are working, it has about 90,000 families over 100-hectare land. So we are still under product market validation. So we still haven't built up enough data to work with the impact KPIs that's there, like for further evaluation.
Thank you. We still have time for one more question if any of the judges still have anything they want to clear. I don't know. Yes, go ahead.
Yep. Hi, firstly, I love the project, so thank you for that. Could I maybe ask a little bit about the tech environment for the end user? So I know in many of these developing nations and in the slums, internet penetration, smartphone penetration is something of an issue.
Yeah.
So how do the people that you're servicing actually access the website?
All right. I think that's a great question because we actually get that a lot. So I have been working with Corail since my 4th year when I was a student. The penetration rate in these urban slums or informal settlements, specifically in Corail, is 66%. So there are people with smartphones, but for them, Facebook and Facebook means internet. So what we are using that the women who already we got onboarded with, we are placing them in different entrances of the Corail slum. So we are calling them agents. This is something that is similarly used for financial inclusivity program by bKash as well, which was a startup and now is quite big in Bangladesh. So the agents, they onboard the woman in our slum area. So they input the data. So just to show it to you, I kept it in the archive that our website looks like this, which can be turned into an app as well. So there is an employee sign up section and a company sign up section as well. And we have a backend that we're trying to work on as well, but currently we're doing it with the Excel sheet. So once that happens and the data is up, we can match it. So the usage of agents is something that we're doing currently. Could I answer your question, sir?
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Is there any other question from the judges before we move on? Okay, I see that Ram unmuted himself. Don't know if he's going to ask anything.
No, I'm good.
Okay, great. Wow, congratulations, Tarim. Thank you so much. And now we move on to the next entrepreneur, who is Ivana from Datagénero.
Hi,
Hello, Ivana.
let me share my screen. Okay, I will present. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
My name is Ivana. I'm the co-founder and director of Datagénero, and today I want to talk to you about data. Have you ever heard the phrase, data is the new oil? Nowadays, having data is having power. But what happens when things go wrong while using data and algorithms? Let's take a look. Did you know that Amazon built an AI that was biased against women? Amazon developed an algorithm to screen job applicants, but because the model was trained on the resumes of prior applicants who were mostly male, it developed a preference for male applicants. So it downgraded resumes with the word women in it. In my own country, in Argentina, an AI was designed to predict teenage pregnancy in low-income populations. It was never made clear what would happen once a girl or young woman was labeled as predestined for motherhood, or how this information would help prevent adolescent pregnancy. Last but not least, we have this great example that everyone knows about how Google is racist and misogynistic in their searches, and that happens when you train Google with biased data. And we can see here that fairness was not an issue in the machine learning community, and now it is in all the papers. So we are worried about all of this because half of the countries do not have data available to monitor SDG number 5. And more than 75% of data of gender-related SDG indicators is over a decade old. So I want to ask you, how can we know if we are moving towards gender equality if we are not measuring most of it? So a recent report shows that we have just half of the necessary funding to adequately support policy decision-making and accelerate gender equality. So why am I telling you all this? Because we want to make a transformation in the statistics, data, and AI world, a world mostly dominated by men that decide who counts and who doesn't. And we are here to say that we all count. This is why 2 years ago, we decided to create this legal association. We observe and influence data processes that directly affect the lives of women and LGBT people in Latin America, advising and training governments, companies, and organizations. We are one of a kind no one was talking about this issue or the missing gender data when we started 2 years ago. And then we decided to do something about it. Our competitors are really small startups like ours, but that they started after us. So we are pioneers in this endeavor. Our differential is that we are interdisciplinary. We are not just technical or from social sciences, and we generate a bridge between these two worlds that really don't talk to each other. Our business model consists of consulting and donations, and our pricing strategy is linked with the idea of value-based pricing. We provide a unique and tailored proposal to our customers. So every proposal is tailored to the needs of the customer, companies, governments, or individuals. Our solution, we want everyone to work with data and to have the proper tools to use it in a gender-sensitive and ethical way. We want to help collect more data that can be useful to make public policy in Latin America. We have a lot of things, a solid business foundation. We have volunteers, we have legal status, and you can see our income, everything, but there are some things that are missing. Each and every one of us is working as a volunteer in our organization. We need people working full-time here to achieve better results and to get more deals with companies, governments, and civic society. We can't do everything ourselves. So that is why we need you to help us become a part of the change in an always evolving world. We cannot achieve the SDGs if the data we choose to collect, use, and prioritize doesn't include all of us. So to wrap up, although we don't have a marketing expert or someone addressing funding in our business, companies and funds are coming to us, asking us to train them, paying us to give workshops and to share the knowledge we are building. So we have funding from UN, AA+ Alliance, and from other different governments and companies. So thank you for listening, and remember, without data equality, there is no gender equity.
Thank you, Ivana. Congratulations, great job. I see Maria already has a question, please.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I think my question is around scalability. So you mentioned that 70% of your revenue comes from consulting. Do you have plans to perhaps transition that business model into one that's maybe more scalable, or are you planning to just grow as a consulting business?
We would love to grow. We need to stabilize for that. We don't want to grow really fast and can't handle the growth. So at first we want to do consulting and to have everyone on a pay salaries. And then we have a lot of partnerships with other organizations that want to implement our solutions in Latin America, not only in Argentina. And we would love to think in a bigger scale, of course, because we are constantly asking, they are constantly asking us for that, and we see a lot of potential, but we want to be cautious at the beginning because we know that hyper growing is kind of dangerous sometimes if you don't have everything under control. Thank you for your question.
Great, Davor?
Yeah, can you give an example of the work you've done already?
Yeah, we have done a huge work with the criminal court in Argentina that has open data, and we made this report for UN Women. We did this research for a lot of months, and then we did the report about the status of this criminal court number 10 in Buenos Aires. We had done some consulting on better data solutions for some companies. There are small startups that are really interested in handling data in a gender-sensitive and ethical way. And now we are developing an AI tool with A+ Alliance that is going to help some of the gender-based violence cases to be more transparent. So we are generating some tools, also doing data analytics, and also this consulting for companies and governments.
Thank you. Matthias, we still have time for your question.
Yeah, thank you, Marcela, and thank you, Ivana. Wonderful work and really very, very needed. I'm wondering if you have any partnerships or collaborations with scientific institutions or data-driven organizations, or sort of what is your ecosystem looking like, I guess is the question that you operate in and that you're connected with.
Thank you. We have great partners. I didn't mention them because I had 5 minutes only, but we are working with this criminal court that I told you about. They are like our brothers and sisters, but we also have a lot of organizations of women in science, and they are working in different universities. Now we are based on the University of Buenos Aires too. As Datagénero, we have some colleagues there. The University of Córdoba is always speaking with us to help us. But we have really strong organizations of women in science that are working with us, and women in bioinformatics too. So we have a lot of great reception from everyone in the community, and a lot of open software and open data initiatives, open government are working with us too.
Great. Is there any more questions from our judges?
Hey, Ivana, it's a great presentation. I have just one question. Like, AI bias is like a big problem across the world. So how you're planning to pre-process your data that's free from bias? Like, how you're keeping your data clean from the bias, or simply ask?
That's a great question. We can't eradicate bias, unfortunately. It's something that we are embedded into. So what we can do is balance it and make it visible, but we can't eradicate the bias from data. It's impossible. But we can try to make that imbalance more balanced, and to have the people working with that data aware of the biases that are in the data, so the solutions are not so biased, but we can't sadly eradicate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ivana. Great job. Congratulations to you and to the whole Datagénero team. Next, we have EduCase with Neha and Vedika.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll begin. Hi, everyone. My name is Neha, and Vedika and I are co-founders of EduCase. When we met this girl in the picture here, Anisha, she told us that she walks 2 hours one way to get to school. And when she reaches her classroom, it looks something like this, where there is little to no classroom furniture available for students to use, forcing them to use the hard floor surface to read and write in uncomfortable positions for hours. A lack of classroom furniture is one of the biggest problems within government and community schools in South Asia. On top of that, primary school students are often under-prioritized compared to older students. And because these kids often come from low-income households, they lack a study space to use at home as well. This has many negative consequences. For example, it affects their posture, eyesight, their handwriting, their ability to concentrate, stay motivated, and therefore it really affects their overall educational performance. So our solution is EduCase, a backpack that unfolds into a desk to create a personal study space at school and at home. This is what it looks like. And EduCase features include that it is lightweight, weather resistant, has storage space to accommodate 15 slim books for students. It's affordable, durable, and of course has a smooth writing surface at an elevated height. Here are some pictures of EduCase in action with both students and teaching fellows. At EduCase, our long-term vision is to help improve children's learning experiences and access to quality education. This is something Vedika and I are very passionate about, and we hope that in the future we can focus on girls more specifically, as we know that they are significantly more disadvantaged. So who pays for the EduCase? Well, our customers are not actually the students themselves. They are INGOs, NGOs, CSR initiatives, local governments, individual donors, and they are the ones who have the funds to be able to purchase the EduCase and donate it to students in need so that they can enjoy it for free. The profits are then reinvested back into our business to ensure that we are self-sustainable. So far, Educase has made a significant impact on both children and teachers' learning experiences. So with children, we see an improvement in their posture, comfort, handwriting. It's been very easy for them to learn how to use it as well. And teachers specifically have seen a huge advantage in being able to use their spaces more flexibly. So now they can arrange their students in lines, pairs, circles, however they need. It can also help students stop cheating off of each other during tests. And we've seen a significant benefit for students by using it at home, especially during the pandemic. But there are lots of benefits to our customers too. So besides contributing to a very positive cause, they get an economical 2-in-1 solution, the chance to add their logo onto our bag to improve their brand awareness. They have a product that's very easy to distribute in a car to the desired location, and the option to include complementary products as well inside to create a more holistic solution for kids. In Nepal, there are 29,000 government schools with 3.3 million primary school students within them. And across South Asia, there are over 1.4 million government schools, showing that there's a huge scope for a product like Educase. So far, however, we are only operating in Nepal, and we've helped almost 1,000 students, partnered with 15 organizations across 11 regions of Nepal. It's important to note that all of our Educases are locally manufactured in Kathmandu and have the capacity to produce large bulk orders. So we're always encouraging our partners to place large orders with us. In the first year, we hope to establish our presence in Nepal, start patenting our design, hire interns to help us reach our goal of 5,000 students. In year 2, we hope to expand to rural areas of Nepal, grow our team, and combine with complementary products. And in year 3, we hope to expand outside of Nepal into other countries in South Asia, continue to grow our team, and find new solutions to improve access to education. Vedika and I are the co-founders of Educase, and we use our diverse skills to help Educase grow and develop. So how can you help us? One is by sponsoring classrooms. You can donate funds to help supply Educase desks, and $600 is all it takes to supply a whole classroom of students. You can also partner with us by providing complementary products and services. For example, stationery, books, light sources, lunch boxes, etc., to create a more holistic solution for students. And you can also connect us to organizations who support education initiatives and relevant networking opportunities to help us find useful contacts. With your support, we can help children like Anisha have a better learning experience. Thank you for listening.
Great job, Neha. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Now let's hear from our judges. Agustina, go ahead.
First of all, it's a beautiful presentation, and I think it's the first one to ask or put in words what we can do or what you need from us. So it's wonderful. My question is about the scalability of the process, the project. How do you plan to export basically or produce in different countries, or are you planning a step project of the future?
Hi, Augustina. This is Vedika. So I'll be answering the questions on behalf of Educase. So thank you for the question. And about expansion, we've definitely looked into a lot of options in terms of expanding to different countries. To start with, before we even were fully functional in Nepal, we got a lot of interest from countries in South Asia, like India or Bangladesh. And then a lot of interest from countries in Africa, as well as Southeast Asia, like Cambodia and Vietnam. So our first step to expanding would be testing smaller sizes, like in almost like a pilot study phase, where we export a few bags to different countries, test it out, see if there needs to be any customization for that country. However, in terms of fully scaling to a new country, we would prefer manufacturing in that country itself instead of exporting from Nepal, to reduce cost of logistics, or even manufacturing. Sometimes using local products is much more cheaper and easier instead of like making it in Nepal and sending it to those countries.
Thank you.
Dever?
Yeah, I was interested in who you work with in terms of partnerships in Nepal. and whether those partners are also international and whether you plan on scaling through them.
Yes, so currently we've actually, the first year, we're concentrating on working with INGOs and international NGOs and NGOs, because they easily monitor the use of the bags and how they're being used, whether more at school or more at home, their impact, and they're closely related to the schools. However, a lot of the customers we reach out to are private organizations and their CSR initiatives, because in Nepal, it's very common for a lot of organizations to host projects where, you know, they distribute school supplies like backpacks, stationaries, even health supplies to students, where they buy in bulk and distribute it to multiple schools. And from the 15 organizations we've mentioned, 5 of them have been actually international organizations that have education initiatives within Nepal. So they send the funds to Nepal, we connect them to local NGOs or schools, depending on their need or their connections and networks. And whichever they pick, we connect them and send the bags directly from our side to the schools.
Maria?
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I have a question about the benefits. I'm just curious, really. You're claiming, for example, that your product improves posture amongst children. How do you know? Do you have some sort of process to collect that kind of testimonials, or etc.? And how do you plan to, prove that that result as you're gonna scale?
So in terms of physical benefits to the students itself, so when it comes to handwriting or posture, so those two things, initially, since we're pretty new, what we do is we see, one is like visual differences immediately you can see. So before Educase or before a desk, actually in classrooms, you see students are either lying down or they're completely bent because the only support they have for their books is the floor actually. So they sit cross-legged on the floor and they put the books on the floor itself and they're completely bending. So the first clue we take is the visual difference, literally from like lying down to sitting up straight. And then as we move along in the next 2-3 years, when Educase is more established, we can collect more long-term results. How we do this is we actually send a feedback form to the teachers who work with students every single day and see students every single day. And we make them actually rate the difference they see over the time. So for example, in the first 3 months when we did our pilot study, we asked the teachers if they could rate their posture from 0 to 5 before and after using Educase. Before it was a 1 maybe in a good situation and 0 in the worst, of course. And we saw teachers saying that we saw students going from lying down or bending to sitting completely straight. So it went from a 0 to a 4. And same thing with handwriting, was they could barely understand what students were writing because they either used their lap as the support. In one of the schools we went to, they were using rocks. And I don't think if you put a piece of paper on a rock and write, you can actually read what's being written. And then teachers said the handwriting went from a 2 to a 4. So these are little clues we take in the beginning. These are results we take from teachers in the beginning. And as we collect them from multiple students, we can create a report showing the difference.
Great job, ladies. Thank you so much. Next, we have Akshay from Edzola.
Hey, everyone. Hi. Let me just share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen. Hey, everyone. This is Akshay talking to you from south of India. So I'll be talking about my startup, Edzola Technologies, today. So before I start, I'd like to share a story about Manisha. And Manisha is a teacher who works in a nonprofit who empowers students in lower income communities and teaches to around 200 students in Chennai. And she conducts classes, she organizes activities, and she makes sure they get educated and break this vicious circle of poverty. And Manisha is extremely happy and enjoys her work because her work is directly creating social outcomes. And this was before March 2020. And post March 2020, when the pandemic hit and the entire country went on lockdown, there was a whole bunch of struggles that our entire community faced. And Manisha was not able to reach her community center physically. She was struggling to conduct online classes because of her lack of technical skills to onboard to classrooms or to conduct online classes. The organization that she worked with had a lot of manual work in terms of creating forms and sending to students. And slowly and steadily, Manisha was beginning to feel frustrated of the overloaded of work that she was doing. And this is not just Manisha's problem, right? This is the story of more than 2 million people working in the nonprofit sector who were not technologically adapted to solve the problem that the pandemic hit. And most of the nonprofit workers work in the field level and they were facing a huge bunch of challenges. And that's when we discovered there was a huge gap between technology and nonprofits. We wanted to understand more about this problem and we ran a survey to understand how big the problem is. And to our surprise, the results from our survey indicated that 78% of the people working in nonprofits spend 2 to 3 hours a day on manual work. And 90% of them agreed that the required data is not always available in one place, it's present in silos. And 96% of them agreed that their current systems inhibited them from taking data-driven decision making. They were not able to take better decisions because of lack of data. And this problem kind of led to the birth of Edzola. So what we do at Edzola are trying to bridge the gap between technology and nonprofits, and we want to bridge the inequity between these two. Our mission currently is to enable digital transformation in at least 1,000 nonprofits, impacting around 25 million stakeholders by 2025. So what we do is we build fully automated MIS systems, like softwares, which will automate most of the manual work. All the data collection and integration is done in our system. All the processes are automated, and entire data provides, real-time impact analysis and dashboards so that the program team can see the impact real time. So this will save 99% of the manual work which exists in an organization. So to prove this theory, and our theory of change is that we work with nonprofits directly, helping them with their technology solutions, and they in turn increase their impact, and thereby our social impact increases. So this is our theory of change. So nonprofits save time, save money, and also increase their impact because of us, and thereby increasing their social outcomes. And to test this theory, I'd like to share a small case study with you. So Nudge Foundation is an organization which provides skill building for youth from underprivileged backgrounds. And before pandemic, there were fully filled physical programs reaching to around 1,000 students in India. And post-pandemic, they were facing a lot of challenges, like students are not able to reach the students, lack of proper data management, and they were not understanding the reach of their program. And that's when Edzola came in and built an end-to-end custom software for them, right from admissions to graduations. All the workflows were automated in our software, and which provided clear data visibility across stakeholders. There were around more than hundreds and thousands of employees using the software, and the program was able to scale as well. And the results is far more surprising. From 1,000 students in physical mode to more than 40,000 students in the online mode within just 6 to 8 months. So this is 40x growth and impact. More than 500,000 students applied for the program. More than 8,000 graduates were able to get jobs because of this, and more than 70 plus CSR partners. And what makes our softwares unique is end-to-end automated, 40x increase in scale, more than 3 to 4 hours of time saved by every employee in the organization. They will be able to see the data, take data-driven decisions, and also plan more experiments because of this. So our competitive advantage is my personal journey itself. So I started my career as a software engineer with Zoho Corp, where I knew the understood technology end to end. And then I enrolled myself as a teaching fellow in Teach for India. So 2 years I was working in a government school, understanding the entire ecosystem of nonprofits. And that's when the inequity hit me. And currently we are bridging this gap with Edzola. And this is the same culture we maintain with our team as well. So this is a wonderful team with a team of nonprofit background working in nonprofits, and also a tech team together trying to create impact using technology. The market size of nonprofits in India is currently 200,000 registered nonprofits, out of which there are at least 70,000 nonprofits in the education and skilling domain, which is our prime focus area. And we want to...
Actually, sorry for interrupting, but you have already gone over your 5 minutes. So if you can wrap it up.
Yes, sorry. So our revenue currently is $50K and we are trying to scale up to 150K. And our current impact is we've reached more than 20 plus nonprofits, 5.4 million hours saved, and 1 lakh plus stakeholders. And our ask today is we are raising $25,000 to build a SaaS platform, which will productize our software and enable more than 1 million beneficiaries. Thank you.
Great, congratulations. Do we have questions from our judges? Matthias.
Yeah, thank you so much, first of all, for the presentation. And obviously, digitalizing the work of nonprofits that aren't so yet is hugely important. So I think the work is really critical that you do. I'm wondering, what is your assessment of why that hasn't happened yet? Is it really a lack of software, or is it a lack of onboarding people, or where's the actual problem here, I wonder?
Thank you so much for the question. And the problem is not only with the technology availability. So we've divided this into multiple buckets. One is awareness. So there is a lack of awareness on how technology can be used. There is a certain gap in the skill set itself. So people in nonprofits usually are not from the technology background. There is certain level of training and this thing to be done. So that is one gap that we see. Another third gap is lack of availability of ready-made softwares for the ecosystem. For example, every program is unique in nature. Like if you take 10 education programs for a nonprofit, there are certain common elements, but there are also customized workflows or customized impact metric that each of the nonprofits collects. So there is no customized software for that in the market. And fourth is lack of implementation partner, right? There is a huge need, but since nonprofits operate out of a very low cost, or there is not often they find a lot of implementation partner who can handle them and make them create impact using technology. So these are some of the buckets that we've identified, and we work on all these things. Hope that answers your question. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Do you have any more questions from our judges for Akshay?
Sorry, I have one. Seeing as NGOs sometimes don't have enough fundings to, or at least here in America Latina, they don't have enough funding to apply certain technology. Which organization are you going to approach to implement your system? Also, if you can explain in more depth the business model, because sometimes it's not clear enough in the presentation.
Thank you so much for the question, Agustina. So to answer your question one, right now we are targeting the top 1 to 2% of the nonprofits which exist currently and want to digitally transform them. And usually they have the budget for this. But to answer your question about costs in general, I agree that is a valid problem. So we partner with software companies who already have certain platform built, for example, Oracle, AWS, Zoho, and provide complimentary subscription for the nonprofit, and we help them implementation. So they only pay for the implementation, and thereby their cost reduces by 50 to 60%. And we are also trying to productize our platform so that we can offer at a much lower cost. So this is to answer your point one. Point number two, to answer about the business model. Currently, our business model is service oriented, where we build a platform software for a nonprofit and we get paid for it. And down the line, we want to productize it, where we are building a SaaS platform where multiple nonprofits can use the same product and increase their impact. So this way, our impact is also scalable and we can offer at a much lower cost. So these are the two business models currently. Thank you.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. So Davor, I'm going to ask you to send over in the chat your question for Akshay. Thank you so much for your presentation, Akshay. Next, we have Putali Nepal. Aishwarya, we're ready for you.
Thank you, Marcella. I'll just share my screen and notify you. Ma'am. Oh, sure, I'm sorry. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So I shall begin now. Namaste everyone, I am Aishwarya Rani Singh and I am a menstruator. The picture is of me when I was 14 years old, and that was the age when I first started to menstruate. The day when I got my first period, my grandmother isolated me for 14 days in an already secluded dark room. Growing up, I felt that I was the most unfortunate menstruator because of the untouchability practices I had to abide with. But my point of view started changing when I started traveling and saw scenarios like this. Lack of clean and proper toilet and garbage disposable facility, clean running water have made menstruator in rural areas suffer more than you and I can possibly imagine of. At the macro level, this is how big the problem looks. In Nepal, 2.3 million menstruators get their period every day, out of which 89% of them experience untouchability, 83% of them use non-hygienic period products, 77% of them make their own pad given their financial incapability, 54% do not have access to proper sanitation facility, and 27% of girls miss school every month during the period. Digging deeper into the problem, I can speak from my experience that illiteracy is a root cause of the problem, leading to other social issues in the sector. To tackle this problem, Puthali Nepal was able to launch its landmark solution in the form of its product, Menstrupedia Comic, and service Butterfly Project training. Our product Menstrupedia Comic is the one and the only MHM resource material in Nepal, which is child-friendly and also available in both Nepali and English language. And considering that it's in the Nepali language, it makes it more relevant to rural people who don't understand English at all. Our service Butterfly Project is a training on sexual and reproductive health and menstruation, and is also one of its kind where we incorporate child-friendly inquiry-based learning tools with the aim to transform behavior for long-term solution and sustainability, and we make sure that guardians also part of this process. We are located in Nepal, and our target market is especially the menstruator, but our product and service has been equally relevant and beneficial to young adults, male, female, and non-binary as well. Every year, we have been able to generate profit of approximately USD 10,000 through the sales of our comic, and USD 3,292.96 by providing trainings. Our expenditure head comprises of operation, administration, and program, which is implementing Butterfly Project in rural parts of Nepal. We function purely with the bootstrapping model of the company, where we generate the 30% of our revenue through the individual sale of Menstrupedia Comic and training to our customers who are also our beneficiaries. And 70% of the revenue is generated through the bulk sales to the organizations and partnering with institutions working in similar sectors like ours, but are only our customers. We rely primarily on theory of change, where we tailor indicators as per the need and use both quantitative and qualitative data for our impact measurement. And so far, we have been able to share 14,000 HR informations. We have had 1,900 training beneficiaries and have made positive impact in the life of 1,424 young adults and 700 girls and women. The testimonial on Butterfly Project is provided by one of our guardian participants who felt that she is confident that her daughter can manage her first period even if she is not there. And the second testimonial on Menstrupedia Comic is provided by a student who shared that she was able to manage her own period in a better way and support her friends too during the period after reading our comic. The next step we envision to take is to expand our scope by including Glue Comic, targeted towards educating boys about sexual and reproductive health, which is again going to be first and its only kind in Nepal. Sexual and reproductive health is considered as a menstruators, girls, and women issue in Nepal, and by launching Glue Comic, we'll be able to break the stereotype and also make SRHR more inclusive for men. For this to happen, we need a total of USD 2,555 to trigger this change, and the initial investment of 10,000 USD to acquire the license fee to kickstart the bigger change. The year 2022 and the upcoming year is perfect for our product and service in Nepal, because right now there's a trend where voices are getting stronger for menstruation and sexual and reproductive health conversation. and the need for collaboration to create synergy in this sector. Not to forget mentioning the priority given to meet the Sustainable Development Goal, which itself prioritizes education as a tool to tackle social taboo. And considering that we have worked with around 101 institutions in Nepal, and in this sector, it gives us an upper hand. Because we have both expertise and experience of 7 years in this sector reinforced by our product and service, I can guarantee that product and service is definitely going to bring change in the lives of menstruators in Nepal. Like mentioned earlier, these are our partners and supporters who have chosen to believe us. And lastly, it's my honor to introduce you all to my amazing assets and my team who work day in and day out to turn Puteri Nepal's vision into a reality. And if you believe that your 0.65 cents can make a difference and an impact, you now know which direction to turn towards. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aish. Congratulations. Awesome job.
Thank you.
I'll open the floor to our judges. Okay, Matthias.
Aishwarya,
Hi.
it's a great presentation.
Thank you so much.
So considering the social taboo is across all the economic classes, both urban and rural, as well as privileged versus the low end, why didn't you thought about digitalizing the comics and go online? It would be more asset light model for you, right?
I did not understand you. Can you cover because your voice was breaking in between?
I'm sorry. The comic is only hard copies, right? You're not selling it online, or
Yeah.
it's in okay. Is there any reason that you didn't went online? Because there is also customer segment which is like urban, more tech based.
So the reason we do not sell the comic online is, first of all, we take the license from the Menstrupedia company in India. So we use their resources and get the license fee for printing and distributing in Nepal, and we are the sole organization to do that. And Menstrupedia is already an income-making source for companies like Puteri Nepal and also Menstrupedia. So we do not have decision over that. So yeah, that's the best I can answer. That's the reason we have not been able to put it or distribute it, the soft copy version, though we get a lot of inquiries and requests to do that. We just do not have power to do that.
Thank you.
Matthias, you also had a question?
Yeah, thank you. Again, such important and wonderful work. I wonder if in the future you are considering including more activities in your organization beyond the awareness raising and the books, such as sanitary pads or more access to hygiene products, or improving. You showed the facility at the beginning that is obviously not okay for that to be the only one available to some girls and young women. Are you considering of venturing out into more things on top of the wonderful book?
Yeah, so it's one step at a time. And right now, yes, we are focused on Menstrupedia and seeing the changes that Menstrupedia comic was able to bring. The next step would be, making SRHR more inclusive of men, that like I mentioned, and that's expanding our scope. But my long-term thing, or my mission and vision with where I would like to take Puteri Nepal, is to create more similar child-friendly tools. Right now, yes, we are dependent on Indian company and they've been very supportive towards us, but in the future, by generating the profit that we are able to through Menstrupedia and Gulu Comic, I want to expand and work on sectors like school bullying and mental health and create more such child-friendly educational tools. So that's definitely a plan, and I hope I'll be able to accomplish that in the days to come, but it's gonna take time. Thank you.
Aronav, please.
Yep. Hi. So firstly, I love the presentation. I think it's so clear that there is such a demonstrated need for this in South Asia and in Nepal as well. So my sort of question was around your impact KPIs. I see a number of KPIs around how you reached people in terms of your reach.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, part of your USP, part of what you're trying to do is enable mindset changes and behavior changes.
Yeah.
So I wondered if you have any KPIs or ways to track actual behavior change over and above just the reach.
Yes. So like I mentioned earlier, Butterfly Project is something that I've worked for 2 years in order to make sure that, we bring about behavioral transformation. And that is such an important question. I was able to launch only 2 projects so far. And behavior is something that you have to measure in a long-term basis. And it's related to a lot of different factors like knowledge and actions and what the children are doing or taking initiations. And for me, more than data, it is there, but it's about quality information that my beneficiaries provide. Simple things like, I was able to do certain yoga poses and cure my period pain, or I was able to support my friend and speak up for her when she did not get sanitary napkins, or I was able to go and teach my grandmother about menstruation as well. So these are the little key indicators that we develop, and that is completely based on the community we go into, because we want to make sure that we respect the rights and the belief system of a community, and we do not force anything to them. So once we are in the community and we are training the children, we ask them to find their own problem and their own solution, and that is how we develop the indicators, and we see a long-term differences in this kind of little behaviors and attitude patterns, and that is how we go about measuring the impact. Hope I have answered your question.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Aish. Congratulations, you did a great job. Next we have Pratik presenting Shasan.
Thank you, Marcella. Let me just share my screen really quickly. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to hear me as well?
Yes.
Just fix this first. Hello, everyone. I am Pratik, and I'm the founder of Shasan, which means governance in Nepali. 5.1 billion people globally don't meet their civic justice needs. These needs include public issues like potholes, open drainage, inaccessible and disability-unfriendly footpaths, or illegal dumping of trash that plague nearly every city in the global south. You may certainly recognize many of the problems in the slide in your own neighborhood. Now, there are 2 elements to why civic justice remains unmet. On one hand, citizens find reporting their problems difficult, time-consuming, and expensive. On the other hand, governments who are tasked with fixing these problems find gathering data on public issues difficult. And without data, evidence-based and systemic solutions to meeting civic justice needs are nearly impossible. In Nepal, it takes at least 3 hours to up to 3 days to report a single public issue. Navigating the entire process is incredibly difficult. Not only do most people not know where to go, the entire process from researching, calling, and traveling back and forth costs the average citizen anywhere from $15 to $50 per complaint. This includes money lost that they would otherwise be earning from an average Nepali salary per hour. So reporting is costly as well. Finally, not all citizens are treated equally, and people from marginalized communities face disproportionately greater costs to report issues when, for example, water supplies stop suddenly, or the local factory dumps toxic waste near their community park where their children play. Governments too face a burden. There's no real-time data about public issues, which means the response from the government is slow and the process is not transparent. And if you have to report on a weekend, too bad. Shasan is a very simple solution that allows any citizen to easily and freely report any complaint anywhere, anytime through a simple app. Citizens can take photos and videos of the issue, and our advanced AI and machine learning algorithm recognizes the category of the problem. The citizen-generated data is then sent instantaneously to the relevant government departments and local officials. The governments are then able to respond and solve their concerns faster and with a very transparent process. This ensures better public services for all citizens meeting their civic justice needs. For the first time in Nepal's history, we have virtually eliminated the cost of civic engagement, making the process much faster and cheaper. More importantly, we have made the process inclusive as well. Marginalized citizens historically stigmatized from going to government offices now have a level playing field to voice their civic justice needs through our app. To ensure this, we have conducted training to over 1,100 marginalized community members across Nepal, and our digital civic justice programs have reached over 1 million accounts. On the government side, we partnered with 16 units in 2022. The citizen-generated data allows elected officials at the local and federal level to create policies that are more community-centered and evidence-based, saving taxpayers millions of dollars, fostering civic and financial accountability of governments, and contributing to vital SDGs. Our model is fairly simple yet robust. It costs us around $50,000 per year to develop, maintain, and operate. We use a subscription model where the app is completely free for use for citizens, and we charge $100 to $1,000 per governmental unit per year. We expect to earn $200,000 per year by year 3 with break even in year 2. We've raised $150,000 in grant support in 2021. The app is currently in early access, and 900 citizens from nearly every district in Nepal are already our users and testers, submitting more than 4,400 reports so far. And for every dollar that you invest or donate, citizens save $54 as social return. Now in Nepal, we are the only players in the space, and there are 3 great barriers to entry that gives us competitive advantage. First, we have expertise and understanding of Nepal's complex legal and bureaucratic structure. Second, we have the trust and buy-in from the governments and local communities. And finally, we have expertise in civic technology that is still rare in Nepal. And we also know how to combine these 3 things for our advantage. Regionally and internationally, there are many players who do similar work. We've assessed their strengths and have learned from their own experiences and contexts, which is, of course, how we can scale. Civic justice issues are indeed a global problem. There's not a single person in this Zoom call right now who doesn't have these problems in their own countries. We plan to scale across Nepal, move to our neighboring countries, which share a common political and civic context, and ultimately meet the civic justice needs of citizens everywhere. For this, we'll be reinvesting our profits, extending our relationships to other countries, and capitalizing on the common context that I talked about earlier. Our team members come from the very communities we serve and face the very problems we solve. We are an award-winning team of civic innovators and development professionals with years of subject expertise, supported and recognized internationally for our work, including by the UN SDSN in the 2020 Solutions Report. So investors and grant makers, come join this revolution to strengthen democracy one complaint at a time and ensure civic justice needs are met for all people. I open the floor for questions, comments, and clarifications.
Thank you, Pratik. Great job. So judges, please ask your questions. Matthias.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, Pratik, wonderful presentation and really cool app. I can totally imagine how this would work. Do you also get involved in improving the ability to respond to the citizens' complaints or reports, or is that not part of your model? Because I imagine it is one thing to be able to more easily report on them, but then another, whether the city, the government, the village, wherever this is, has the capacity to actually do something about it. And I'm wondering, where does your intervention start and end?
Right, so of course, Matthias, you've worked with Ashoka for 10 years, so system change is your forte as well. So technology alone is not the solution, of course. There's knowledge gap to address as well, right? Being able to report on waste problems on the road means nothing if citizens don't see it as a problem itself. So we do have trainings for citizens and especially focus on marginalized groups who have historically have been barred from political participation, and we provide them civic training digitally and on ground.
Thank you.
I will continue with Matthias' question, mostly because I live in Latin America and we know that our governments sometimes they don't have the capability to action on some problems, no? So that maybe can frustrate your user. So are you planning or do you have already a season in which the app, the program classifies the problems in importance to local government or something like that? so they can act better on each problem?
Thank you for the question, Agustina. Yes, we do. So how we've managed is, if you are a local representative, you have a dashboard in front of you, right? You have a map of your constituency, of your province or your state. And on the map are different pins representing different categories of problems. And the pins themselves have different intensities of color representing how much of a problem it is. So for example, if a pothole is really causing a problem, multiple citizens will take photos of the same pothole, which increases the redness of that pin. And that is how a representative might know that that problem is really important.
Davor.
Yeah, you might have answered this already. Do you have a signed contract with any of the ministers or ministries, sorry, or even the government in Nepal?
Yes, thank you so much for your question, Davor. So we regularly work with local governments in Kathmandu and outside. Currently, we, from the 16 partnerships that we've had, 13 are from the local wards in Constituency 4, which is in Kathmandu. 2 are from the province level parliamentarians, and 1 is from the federal level member of parliament, who was also the previous health minister of Nepal.
Great. Do we have any last questions from our judges? Okay, if there are no other questions, congratulations, Pratik. Thank you so much for your pitch.
Thank you, Marcela. Thank you, judges.
Next, we have Priyal pitching Stand We Speak.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
All right. So let me start by asking a few simple questions. Can an emergency contraceptive pill terminate a pregnancy? Can an unmarried pregnant woman seek abortion services legally? What do I do if my boyfriend is threatening to leak my private pictures online? How do I know if I'm gay? Now, you might have answer to these questions, but most young people don't. My journey at Stand We Speak started with my own personal experience of being in an abusive relationship for 5 years, and it took me 2 years of professional help and support to come out of it. I have seen my friend's younger sister who had to go through unsafe abortion due to the shame and stigma attached to marital status. Around 1.9 billion people all around the world suffer from one or the other sexual health related issues. If we look at the global data, around 3 million teenage girls undergo unsafe abortion every year. 71% girls remain unaware of periods when they begin menstruating. Out of the total 48 million pregnancies in India, half of them are unintended. India has the 3rd largest HIV epidemic in the world, and the list is never ending. This is a huge problem because of the shame and stigma attached to the sexual and reproductive health domain. There's a lot of misinformation and misconception in the minds of people. We also have a lack of reliable source of information and services. We have a lack of access to healthcare services and even products. To solve this issue, we have come up with May, which is an AI-driven sexual wellness platform. This is what it looks like. It's completely anonymous, so you can use any name here. Since we have different laws of abortion, consent, so based on your location, age, gender, and needs, this chatbot filters all the data and information that you need. So here you have suggested questions. You can type in a question directly or choose from a long list of categories that we have from right from menstruation, violence, body, abortion, contraception, and more. So based on the question that you choose, it provides medical legal information that are curated by experts, digital content in terms of videos, products, experts where we have gynecologists, counselors, lawyers, sexologists, and intimacy coach, and tons of other resources. We are targeting the age group of 13 to 35 years, who, especially teenagers, women, and LGBT community who live in urban cities and have access to the internet. We have other organizations such as ThatMate, O-School, Elo Health, who provide similar services such as psychological or medical information. But what really makes us unique is that we have a legal component in terms of information and also teleconsultation. We also serve the underserved market of LGBTQ community and young adults. So in true sense, our USP lies in being a one-stop platform, fully digital, that provides all solutions related to sexual health. We have 3 sources of revenue. The first one is teleconsultation, where we charge $10 for a service, and we share the revenue with the experts. We charge $340 from companies to promote their brands on our platform. And in the longer run, we would be launching a premium service for the users. These are our financial projections for the next 5 years. So far, we have had 2,000 users on our chatbot. We have conducted workshops with over 5,000 young people, needs assessment survey with 2,000 students, and we have an organic and active community of 1,000 people. We have collaborated with 10 plus global organizations, including School of Sexuality Education, Women First Digital, Amaze, and more. We have won 10 plus awards and accolades from UNDP, from SexTech Berlin Award, from Global Innovation Challenge, and more. We have 6 plus incubation support as well. This is our long-term vision. We want to launch an app, we want to launch premium services, and we want to scale this service to 5 plus countries and translate this into 10 plus languages. We are focusing on SDG 3, 4, and 5, and our overall aim is to advance global health and achieve gender equality by promoting bodily autonomy amongst youth. This is our team. I am a certified sexuality educator, and we have a doctor, a web developer, and a marketing head in the team. We have a global advisory panel from sexuality education, from finance background, who are helping us build a solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Great job, Priyal. Now with our judges. Maria, go ahead.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I'm curious to know how you measure whether the users are active. You mentioned, I think, that you have around 2,000 now. How do you know that people are using the app? And I'm sorry if I missed it.
So we do not actually track who the users are, but we track the number of users that we have. So that is how we know how many people are coming in from which countries, and based on those KPIs, we get to know whether this is useful or not. And we also have an anonymous feedback form to understand whether the information or the services are being liked by the users or not.
But just to clarify, but you don't know, for example, how many are returning users?
No, we don't track that.
Okay.
Arunav?
Yep, thanks. Great presentation. Thank you for that. So my question is around languages. So, India is a very diverse place with many different languages, and the need is not just in English, but also in these sort of local and regional languages as well. So I was wondering, do you have a plan for that, for your platform, but also for the resources that support your platform?
So for the resources, they have already started with translating digital videos. The content that we have, those are available in 3 plus languages at the moment. And the experts that we have, such as gynecologists, counselors, we hire them from diverse backgrounds so that they can help users in different languages. As far as the platform is concerned, it is currently available in English because we are still at the market validation stage. So once we scale it, we would be translating into different regional languages as well.
Is there any more questions from our judges? Dever?
Yeah, did you mention the use of AI? And how does that work?
So the chatbot that we have built so people can have one-on-one conversation with the chatbot, and it provides all the information, medical legal information as and when they ask. So it's available 24/7, and people from all around the globe can use the chatbot. And it's AI driven, especially because there's a lot of shame and stigma, and people are reluctant to talk to a person, especially when you're young. You're reluctant to talk to people and share your concerns because you don't even have the necessary language to do so. So that is why we are using artificial intelligence to facilitate discussions around sexual health.
We still have a couple minutes, Maria.
Just out of curiosity, you're mentioning here on the slide the funding raised. Have you raised funding, and are you looking for some? And in what form, if yes?
Yeah, so we haven't raised funding as of yet because we are still in the market validation phase. So the next step is to raise funds. Currently, they are totally bootstrapped.
Great. If there's not any other questions from the judges, I want to thank Priyal for your great presentation. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Jenny and Pedro presenting the newsroom.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Let me share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
Minimize this.
Perfect.
Okay.
Put it like that. Okay.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. We are Jenny and Pedro, and we are co-founders of the Newsroom. Our mission is to fight misinformation and promote plurality online. Now, the Newsroom was born after 4 years of Pedro and I brainstorming about the problem of misinformation while working in tech and wondering if we could do something about it. Then COVID hit, and it was a bit of a wake-up call because it was the first time we could actually point a very clear line between misinformation and human lives being lost. And that's when the Newsroom was born. Now, first of all, what is the problem? 2 billion people read news online nowadays, but 62% of them reported they lack trust in what they read. And that's an incredible 1.2 billion people reading the news and not trusting it, with devastating consequences on our democracies, on our health, as we've seen with COVID, and on our planet. Solutions that have been built so far have not been effective because they are inaccessible, manual, or non-transparent.
Now, the Newsroom comes in with 2 solutions that are AI-powered. One is a transparent assessment of the news and a trusted platform to engage with news. Our first solution is a browser extension. As a user, let's say you're scrolling through a social media feed or an online newspaper, you'll see straight away an assessment of the trustworthiness of what you're reading, as our logo in green, yellow, or red. By hovering over that logo, you'll understand exactly how our technology assessed each article. And this assessment methodology was built by interviewing a large group of ethical journalists and psychologists, and then scaling their collective approach using AI. We'll soon be releasing a mobile application that will help users discover quality news and understand the context behind that news. Let's say you're reading about Germany's hesitancy on cutting off Russian gas supplies. On our feed, you'll first get a quick snapshot of what is happening. If then you click on it, you'll be able to explore how different quality publishers are talking about the same event, what they agree on, so their common grounds, as well as differences in reporting. You'll also be able to understand the historical context behind it. So what are the key events that led to what you're reading today, such as Europe's historical dependency on Russian fossil fuels? In this way, we position ourselves as an active feed that assesses trust and acts as an access point to multiple providers. We are unique in how we fight misinformation because we're the only solution that combines these 3 elements.
In terms of business model, the browser extension is completely free, as it allows us to drive impact at scale, to gather insights on misinformation to be shared with industry partners, and to funnel users towards our paid solution. The mobile app will follow a B2C membership model starting at $2.99 a month. Now, the market opportunity is remarkable. If we take the 2 billion people that read news online nowadays and take those that lack trust and pay for news already, and target a market penetration of 6% to be achieved over the next years, we have an addressable yearly revenue of over 400 million. Now, of course, this will need to be addressed bit by bit. And so we will focus initially on English-speaking countries in Europe, and more specifically on users 18 to 35 who are already online avid news readers. In terms of social impact, the Newsroom aligns with 3 SDGs. Number 16, because information is a foundational element of our democracies. Number 4, because media literacy is key to achieve quality education. And number 13, because if there is no agreement on the need for climate action, there will not be any. We have different social impact measurement strategies for our products. For the extension, we're working on trust in news and critical thinking, and we address it by looking at the number of interactions with our product and the number of articles assessed by our technology. So far, we have over 3,000 monthly interactions with our product, and we assessed over 400,000 articles online. For the application, we're working instead on plurality of thought. And so we will assess this when we launch it, looking at the diversity in sources that users engage with through our application. Now, of course, it would be not the newsroom without a team. I'm Jenny, I'm the co-founder and CEO, and Pedro is the co-founder and head of product. And as we said in the beginning, we were working in tech before deciding to dedicate our careers to the newsroom. Our journey started in December of 2020. In December of last year, we launched the beta of our Chrome extension, and we are now on track to release the alpha of our news application. The objective for the next year is to scale our technology to different languages and iterate on it to make it more efficient and effective until having a full European expansion in 2025. For all of this, we're raising 500K to build a great product that people will love. And that translates in hiring 8 people across tech, marketing, and editorial, iterating on tech, and accelerating on user acquisition. Thank you very much for listening to us, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jenny and Pedro. Now with our judges.
Thank you, Jenny and Pedro. It's a great presentation. So my understanding is that your product is like an extension where it is used to assess the both article and author of third-party news, right? Like you gonna say this article is conservative or it's a liberal or it's a neutral in those cases using AI. And just circling back, assessment itself like quite subjective. I'm trying to understand how you gonna maintain the neutral stance in this assessment, how your AI doesn't have any bias in that assessment.
A super great question. So the first solution indeed is very targeted towards the assessment of the news. Okay. Yeah, we can go back to it. And as I was saying when we were in that slide, the approach we took was we at the start of the project started very much by interviewing ethical journalists, understanding how they assess trustworthiness of news articles, and then we scaled that with AI. From those conversations came up this methodology. What we do is we use 5 key components to assess articles. We look at the source of the article, the author, references being made in the article, and then 2 final pieces. One is actually hidden there. One is the claim matching. So we identify key claims being made in an article, whatever that can be, and we cross-reference it to other high-quality publishers. And the final piece is very much related to what you were saying, which is we identify potential bias or clickbait in the article. By combining these and giving it, we use what's called explainable AI. So we give the user the full explainability about how we looked at each of those. We try to look at those subtleties of not just the facts that are there or not, but also subjective elements such as bias, etc.
And if I can add something in terms of how we limit our own bias, I think Ivana's answer from a while ago is perfectly applicable to us. Yeah. So it is impossible for us to say we are 100% unbiased. I don't think that is a thing in AI. However, we are starting right now to set up measures to measure our own bias, and we're planning to make them public with people that use our product. So that's, first of all, we have a tool to improve on potential biases that we may have, and second of all, people are aware of what we're doing and why.
And we use a balanced set of inputs, so news from across the political spectrum, etc., as the inputs for it.
Thank you for the question.
Great. Maria?
Hi, thank you. My question is very straightforward. The 500K you're raising, what valuation are you hoping for? Or
so we're right now looking for a safe investment, considering the stage we're at and the current environment, basically. And yeah, so that's the idea, a safe investment.
Okay, Augustina?
Yeah, I had 2 questions. One was already answered by Maria. And the second question is, which are your competitors? It's a very prominent problem right now, and I believe you already have mapped it. So if you could go deeper on the differentiation.
So currently, if you look at the companies that are working on misinformation from very different angles, you have basically 2 families. One that are working more on the B2C side, and some are working more on a B2B side. For the B2C side, so they are closer to us in terms of competition, you have 2 main companies, and they're both US based. One is called All Sides, the other one is Ground News. And basically, Ground News is probably the one that is closest to what we're doing. And both of them follow a membership-based model. And basically, what they're working on is exactly giving you those different points of view on the topic that you're reading about and building the plurality piece. There is another stream, let's say, of companies that are working on the issue of misinformation, but follow a B2B-based monetization strategy. And they're the ones you see on the right. So NewsGuard, Logically, Factmata, and Factiverse. And there you have both companies in the US and the UK, mostly. They went down the B2B routes and mostly focus either on working with advertisers, so people that at the end of the day monetize information online, so giving them insights in what they do, the quality of the news that their ads were associated with, or looking at stuff like social analytics and brand protection, so a bit broader than that. Or lastly, and that's the example of Factiverse, working with journalists. So basically providing them the tools to avoid misinformation in the first place. So these are the trends that you see in the market right now and the monetization strategies associated with them. Personally, I would say we are the closest to Ground News and more specifically to their mid-range, so the 249 offering that they have, considering that they are a 5-year-old company and we are a 1-year-old. So
but also,
that's where we are.
I guess in terms of uniqueness, none of them are in kind of that intersection between the assessment of the trustworthiness and the plurality piece of giving, kind of showing you the different perspectives on the same topic.
Great. Thank you so much, Jenny and Pedro. Great job.
Thank you.
Next we have Safayat presenting Fertile Tech.
You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Just a minute. So after a long presentation, I think most of the people are hungry right now and they want to eat something. So yeah, like this, this photo looks so delicious. But before eating something, how many of us we think about the food waste? I think most of the people here, we don't think about the waste, that what is going on, what to be after someone is eating. It's a human nature. It can be because nature, like nature, you cannot control. So exactly the same thing I was doing just after finishing this pandemic in last year, 2021. Me and some of my friends all together, we went for delicious this kind of Turkish breakfast. But just after finishing the breakfast, we realized that 3 of us, we couldn't finish those breakfast. So suddenly a question arose to my mind that what is waste, like people, what they are doing. Later on, I get to know, when I asked the waiter that what you are doing with this waste, then he just replied me, we just throw them into the trash. So yeah, so from there, the journey of Fertile being started. Me and one of my friends together, from the breakfast table to a research table, we found that globally 1.3 billion ton per year food waste we human are generating. So what is the problem? When we started to identify the problem, there we found the actual technology what we need to implement in this sector we are not doing. So there is a lack of technology. Second is, even some people who want to work on it because of generation, because of biogas generation, like where from the bad smells are coming, so people don't get interest. And another important thing is time. So composting this food waste, it takes a lot of time, like at least 21 days from the beginning. So as I was in Turkey, I was how curious that how much food Turkey is generating. So where I found that is 26 million waste ton per year. We are like in Turkey, they are generating as a touristic country. What about other nations? What about you nations? So we came up with an idea, but there we will be able to solve all these three issues with the technology. What we can do, the things I said, like compost is taking at least 21 days, where we offer it will be done within 5 to 6 hours. There will be no, we also ensure there will be no generation of biogas. Definitely there will be generation of biogas, but you will not find any bad smell, and it will be low cost and affordable. How it works? It all works about PV equal nRT equation. Most of the science students they studied, and the whole mechanism we invented by ourselves after 6 months of laboratory test, like practical test, whatever you say. So as a product, what we are offering at this moment, we are offering three kind of composter. One is small scale, one is medium scale, another one is large scale. In small scale composter, we offer to the household stakeholders. Medium, we are offering to the school institutions which are mostly canteen based, and the large scale compost plant we are offering to the municipalities, where we also offer a premium offer to the household stakeholders, that we will collect their fertilizers if they have extra generation by paying to them. Right now, our target market, as I said, our target market is touristic based countries, restaurants, household stakeholders. At the same time, we are also working with the municipalities as a consultancy firm. So what we realized that if we just only work in Turkey, then we have $4.4 billion market just only in Turkey. So far we have a good impact. We started our journey in 2021, like in the mid of 2021, and we raised 30,000 euro from European Union and Embassy of France in Turkey to establish our social project. At the same time, right now we are working with the two municipalities. One is in Bangladesh, another was in Turkey, for building a big scale compost plant. We also applied for our own patent, as I said, that it is totally our own innovation. So right now also we successfully completed our first phase of patent. We received some award from YY and Fellowship Erasmus Young Entrepreneurship Award, as well as a social business competition win from Lithuania. How we make money? We make money from our consultation, from our patent. We sell our products. We work with the governmental and private NGO-based organizations. Fertile Bin, we have a different kind of methodology for trapping those biogas. So that filter we are also selling to our customers. In addition, we also offer the premium service that we said we will collect to the normal household stakeholders.
Safayat.
Yeah.
You have already went over your time, so please wrap it up.
Okay, so this is our revenue model. We need partnership, investment, innovative mind, and as a vision, we targeted 2030 will be our successful year to complete our to reach our global market with our product. And we have our ongoing products as well, which is based on a European market and Asian market, which is DrinkCap and WegAlert. And the academician researchers team, we are working at this moment. And welcome to Fertile Tech, who are working for Green Art Technologies.
Thank you. Thank you. Now with our judges. Agustina, yes, go ahead.
Well, first of all, Safayat, I am pronouncing well your name.
Yes.
I will start with a recommendation. Do not waste much time in your problem. Food waste, it's a very common problem around the globe. We already knew that was a problem. Focus more on why they should choose you. Because I already do compost, and it's maybe unclear what is your value proposition with technology here. why should I change my more traditional compost?
First of all, as you asked me, I should ask you also, as you already did the composting in your home. So how many days it takes?
Yeah, it takes more time.
It takes more, at least 21 days. Yeah. But with this machine, we are offering the whole compost process will be done within 5 to 6 hours. So the things what you did, like what you eat the whole day, when you are done, like when you are going to sleep at night, just keep them into this machine. The machine will gives you the fertilizer in the next morning. So this is the first thing. You will not get anywhere in the world. Number one. Second is, as you said, the bad smell, color, like a reactions process. So people are not getting interest to do or work on it because of this bad smell. So we ensure that when doing this composting with this machine, you will not have this bad smell in your home. So these are the unique things that I think at this moment you will not find anywhere in the world.
Perfect. You should put that simple, clear in your presentation so you can be more confident talking about your project. That's
okay, thank you.
More like the feedback I wanted to give you.
Thank you, Arunav.
Hi, Safayat. Lovely presentation. Thank you. So my question is sort of an extension of Augustina's. So frankly, I have seen similar machines that are sort of manufactured in China in bulk, and different players in different areas, they seem to import these machines and sell them. So for example, I saw one in South Africa. So I wonder what aspect of your technology or your branding or your target market gives you a barrier to entry and an advantage over these sort of import devices that people can quite easily source, in this day and age.
Thank you so much. The technology that we used right now, I'm not opening it because I am already in the patent process number one. Second is, as you said, China, not only China, there is one company in US as well. They are also trying to go reach in this market. But the price is starting from $1,200 for one product. So who will buy? Like if our target customer is like a household stakeholder, who will buy this one? So that's why the product we designed, we are saying that is we offer them within $250 to $300. It will also depend on the amount of waste the machine will compost. So the range is $250 to $300 for our product. And sorry, the other question, what did you ask?
So it was more of a barrier to entry question, over and above price, how are you competing on technology and market?
Exactly. This is the price, and also marketing reaching, like how I will reach into the global market. So as I already decide that I will reach to the global market, definitely, for example, I couldn't raise all the monies. Why I applied for my patent? Patent ensure me that even if I want to sell my patent to a company who is too much big, like who is already established as an electrical company, so I can sell my patent to them so that they can reach to the market on behalf of me or the partnership. So this is the backup plan we decided to reach the global market.
Great. Thank you, Safayat. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Next, we have Yashasvini presenting OxoHub.
Thank you, Marcella. Just 1 second. I'm hoping you can see my screen.
It's still loading.
Just let me know once it loads.
For me, it's still loading. I don't know if you want to stop and try
Yeah,
sharing it
sorry,
again.
I'm just
Don't worry.
to try that again. Yeah, is that better?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm based out of India, and I'd like you to meet Shankar. Shankar is a non-profit manager in a small town in southern India with 20 years of experience and expertise in agricultural systems and self-help groups. Shankar is a critical stakeholder in the local community and is an encyclopedia of knowledge and skills crucial to any development sector intervention in the area. The only catch, Shankar only speaks Tamil. Sharing his experience and expertise with funders and other development sector actors is very often difficult. The next scenario, it's the end of the financial year today, and Revati, a nonprofit founder, is staring at her to-do list. Revati's passion and skill set lies in the classroom, and her nonprofit works with fishing communities in a coastal Indian town. Yet nothing on her to-do list has anything to do with teaching. She needs to spruce up the website in time for the new year. The annual report needs redrafting. She needs to sit down and think of budgets and fundraising strategies and then create the content to raise these funds. And she's not even halfway through her list. The burden of administrative work threatens to overwhelm her. And now for our dream scenario. In a country where 90% of the population does not speak English, what if language was not a barrier for Shankar and all of the others in sharing their expertise? What if Revati had support to write her annual report, tell her impact stories, and take the overwhelming list of administrative tasks off of her plate? What if every stakeholder in the social sector ecosystem worked to their strengths and collaborated to maximize impact? These are the questions that lie at the heart of what we do at OxoHub. My name is Yashaswini, and I'm the founder and CEO of OxoHub, an Indian development sector consultancy that provides support services to the country's social sector ecosystem. We work with NGOs and nonprofits to measure and monitor their impact, enable accessibility through interpretations, translations, and documentation in regional languages, and improve fund readiness for nonprofits by creating collateral. We also work with corporates to enable impact-driven investing, especially since corporate social responsibility is a legal mandate in the country. I founded OxoHub in August 2018 in Chennai, and in the last 3 years, we've completed over 100 projects across 4 countries in the world and 8 states in India. All of this has been made possible by our team. We are currently a 6-member core team of young, qualified, and passionate women and work with a network of over 40 freelance consultants, the majority of whom are women as well. Our business runs on human capital, and without our people, we would find it difficult to tap into a large potential market. Take the case of Vandana. Vandana joined OxoHub straight from college at a time when we had identified the market for accessibility services. We needed hands on deck to tap into this space, and Vandana became project lead on our first large accessibility project. She managed a team of 8 interpreters, scheduled practice sessions, interfaced with clients, and made sure the event was available in 4 regional languages. Riding on the success of this project, we went on to provide accessibility services to another conference, which regularly sees over 1,000 people in attendance. We also used this experience to land our first international project with the United Nations Foundation, ensuring the accessibility of $2 million of grants in India and Bangladesh. We have since been onboarded to provide the same services for the next phase of the grant as well. This project chain resulted in revenues of $22K USD with pipeline conversations for about 1.5. As the sole point of contact for this entire value chain, Vandana was crucial to its success. Without having her as an additional resource, it would have been difficult to deliver that first project and generate follow-up business. These are only some of the 40+ projects in this past year. Over the last 12 months, in response to demand, we've doubled our core team size from 3 to 6 and expanded our team to increase revenues by almost 4x. But the demand seems endless. In the last 2 months, we've had almost 20 conversations about potential projects with pitch decks, proposals, impact reports, research, translations, everything. Conservatively, this is 10,000 USD of business from passive business development. Due to the legal mandate of corporate social responsibility in India, there's 1 billion USD being spent every year in the sector. And anywhere, depending on the data you use, between 100,000 and 200,000 NGOs registered with the central government. The potential for the growth and the capacity for revenue generation is vast. In order to tap into this and enable our growth, we need people. Hiring 2 more core team members will require 15,000 USD. And as an asset-light company with no other large cost overheads, investing in people will allow us to achieve projections of 50% increased overall revenues over the next financial year. A larger team will allow us to help more Shankars and more Revatis, and together we look forward to strengthening the Indian social sector ecosystem. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Yash. Great job. I'll open the floor to our judges for questioning. Matthias.
Yeah, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, and being involved in leading and co-leading nonprofits myself for so many years. I can totally see how your service is extremely relevant. So thank you for the work that you're doing. I wonder, and I'm sorry if I missed it, but why this doesn't exist yet, or what the competitors are in the field, what makes you maybe unique, what sets you apart from them. I imagine there's others offering this service in a country this large. Yeah, just a bit of the competitive landscape would be interesting.
Thank you so much, Matthias. Yes, there is, and we have a slide ready, hoping that someone will answer that, ask that. We aren't the first ones to kind of invent development sector consultancy in this country. It didn't come from my brain. We have 4 large pools of competitors. We have the large consultancies, the big 4, the McKinseys and the PwCs have entered this pool. There are smaller consultancies that specialize in development sector work. Other startups similar to ours slightly joined the game slightly later on. And volunteers are actually probably our biggest direct competitors, because some of these NGOs that we work with do get the work done for free by individuals. Each of these things, we think we have an advantage that kind of gives us the upper ground for each of these categories. We have invested heavily in building our relationships with our core clientele. So in one of the slides, you may have noticed about 40 to 50% of our clients do come back to us. And that's been a crucial factor in building an early mover advantage, because now we have this pool and we have a body of work that we have to show, both when we go and reach out to newer nonprofits that we haven't worked with, but also with corporates who want to have a larger pool of projects to choose from when they're trying to disperse their funding. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Great. Any more questions from our judges? Okay, if there aren't any more questions, thank you so much, Yash. You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Joseph presenting E1. Joseph, we can see your screen, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Hi there. Imagine coming from a family where you depend on collecting and gathering firewood to raise income to support your education and your daily basic needs. Over 4.3 million people globally died from using firewood for cooking, including my family, which is more than malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined, according to a WHO report, costing the world more than US 2.4 trillion every year, and it is driven by adverse impact on health, women, and climate. My name is Joseph Churchill Nyeko. We develop an E1 stove from locally available recycled materials, which can generate up to 600 degrees Celsius of heat, and it is powered by biopellets made from garden waste that produce high quality smokeless and affordable cooking fuel.
Joseph, we can't hear you anymore. We're probably having some internet connection. Okay, so I'm going to ask one of our team members to go with Joseph to a breakout room so they can check out what's going on with his internet connection. And in the meantime, we can move on to the next presenter. That is Shay from PharmaFest. Okay, so
Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Shay Vitalis. I'm from Cameroon. I am the founder of
Shay, we can't hear you. Probably if you want to try turning off your camera.
Okay.
Try turning off your camera and restarting, please.
Okay. 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 Hello, I'm Shay Vitalis. I'm from Cameroon. I am the project leader of PharmaFast. PharmaFast's mission is to protect, connect pharmaceutical vendors and ease access to quality medication for patients. So why am I here? I am here today to pitch to win the prize, which has been provided by the UNIS Youth competition. So this prize is going to help us with our marketing advertisements like printing of flyers, banners, and media coverage across Cameroon. Have you ever lost a loved one because you could not purchase their medication on time? In 2018, I met with this lady along the street of Douala, where she was crying because she could not get the medication prescribed to her daughter by the doctor. In the course of trying to get this her medication, she visited up to 5 pharmacies and ran out of funds. In order for us to know if other Cameroonians are facing these challenges in Cameroon, we carried out a research, and 6 to 7 out of 10 Cameroonians we talked to believe that they themselves find it very, very difficult when they want to purchase their medication. The reason being that they don't know which pharmacy will carry the drug they are looking for, and the price is also unpredictable. Another problem which we equally discovered was the issue of fake medication in Cameroon and Africa at large. The World Health Organization statistics shows that 42% of drugs found in Africa is of substandard, and about 1 million people died annually from this problem. So what is our solution? We have developed a cost-effective and reliable mobile application called PharmaFast, where we try to connect the pharmacies by bringing this quality medication closer to the consumers. We are equally, in order for us to solve the problem of fake medication, we are powering this project on blockchain technology, which is going to have a unique identification code where users can scan for the brand of their medication and equally do their e-consultation. So these are some of the demo images of our product. This is the merchant app of PharmaFast, where users, you can place your order, you can see the pending list, etc., etc. and for the delivery where you can shop and then we drop the medication at your doorstep. We are targeting patients, authorized drugstore vendors, the physically challenged, and those with a busy schedule. Our market opportunity, according to statistics from the African pharmaceutical industry, it is estimated that the market for this domain stand at $56 billion. And as a result of the COVID-19, it is predicted that it's going to increase by 2030. So we are trying to capitalize on this market opportunity by providing our services to Cameroon and other African countries. There is absolutely no market without competitors, and PharmaFast is not an exception. But what makes us unique is that our technology is going to be more transparent because it's going to be powered on blockchain technology. We offer door-to-door delivery services, which is not the case with our competitors. And we are equally fighting to fight against the circulation of fake medication in Africa and Cameroon at large. Our business model, we are a B2B and a B2C company. So we have a registration fee which we will take from pharmacies that are going to be on our platform, and equally a 10 to 15% transaction fee. And for the B2C, the customers or the patient only have to pay for the delivery services if they place an order on our platform. Our plan is to scale this project to other African countries because we discovered that the problem is not only peculiar in Cameroon, it is a problem in most sub-Saharan Africans. And we are equally in the course of partnering with a blockchain technology called Creative Africa. And in order for us to equally to have access to rural communities in Africa, we plan to use drones in the next future. Our social impact. We are working to achieving goal 3, which is good health and well-being, and SDG 9 and 17. And in order for us to equally to accelerate to help the Cameroon government meet up with the 2020-2025 digital health plan, we believe that our project is going to help in paving the way in achieving this particular strategy, as well as the universal health coverage in Cameroon and Africa. So here is our team. We have Shea Vitalis, who's a social entrepreneur. And then our co-founder is an ICT engineer and app developer with more than 5 years of experience. We have our marketer, who is a specialist in digital marketing, and equally a medical doctor who happens to be our advisor. He's the one providing us with the legal advice, since we are found in a domain which is very, very challenging. So I would just want to share some feedback when we launched in 2020, we're able to put a platform, and these are some of the feedback that we got from the users. And most of the striking one was that they were asking if they could place an order and then we get their medication. And so we equally got some 2 medical doctors, that is from Sierra Leone and Ghana, asking us if we can equally bring this initiative to their various countries. And initially we had, okay.
You have already went over your time, so please wrap it up.
Okay, thank you very much. I was just saying, initially we built an initial platform, and the aim was not actually, we're not like thinking to make money out of it. As a result of the call from pharmacies asking us if we can provide them a future that maybe they can do e-consultation, and people equally asking us if they can't maybe buy their medication online, we decided to build a new platform, which in the next week, we are going to begin with the testing. We're testing it with some of these pharmacies. So thank you very much. I'll now hand over the floor to the judges for your feedback and questioning. Thank you.
Thank you, Shea. We have a few minutes for the judges. So please, would anyone like to ask a question? Augustina, please.
First of all, congratulations for teaching in English. You did it very well. And my My question is, maybe I was lost a bit in the presentation, which is the business model? How do you plan to make some revenue? Sorry if I missed that.
Okay, like I said, with our partners, as the pharmacies that are going to partner with us, there is going to be a registration fee in order for them to have a space on our platform, the yearly registration fee. And then we equally have, we'll equally be taking, we'll be taking a 10 to 15% transaction fee for each medication that will be purchased from our platform. And for B2C, that is the customers that are going to order for their medication, they only need to pay us for the delivery fee for us to deliver the medication to them. Thank you.
So this registration fee, do you plan to have a freemium or a 1 month free subscription so the users can see how the platforms work? Because the registration fee might be a barrier for you reaching new customers.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. We plan to have both a monthly and a yearly registration fee. What we were like thinking is that for those that if you want to go in for maybe monthly fee, it will be a little bit more expensive. Whereas if you pay for a yearly fee, is going to be, the cost will be lower. Let me just say, like, we take yearly an annual fee of $50, but if you will be paying monthly, it will go up to about $60. I don't know if I've answered your question. Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Shay, for your presentations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Marcela.
Next, we're going to try Joseph again. Joseph, I'm going to share my screen with your presentation. And hopefully, we'll be able to hear you correctly. Okay. Okay, whenever you want, you can start.
Thank you. Hi there. Imagine coming from a family where you depend on collecting and gathering firewood to raise income to support your education and your daily basic needs. Next. Go to next slide. Yes, over 4.3 million people globally die from using firewood for cooking, including my family, which is more than malaria, HIV/AIDS, and tuberculosis combined, according to a WHO report, costing the world more than US 2.4 trillion every year, and it is driven by adverse impact on health, climate, and women. Next, my name is Joseph Churchill Nyeko, and I am the founder of E1 Social Enterprise. We develop E1 stock from locally available recycled materials. Next, the stock is powered by biopellets made from garden waste that produce high-quality smokeless and affordable cooking fuel that burns 3 times longer than ordinary charcoal, and it is capable of generating up to 600 degrees Celsius of heat and can cook any kind of food in an averagely 1 hour. Next. Yes, this is how big our market is. It started 15 million rural households and farmers in Uganda and scaled to 700 million more across Africa, Asia, and South America, where current solid fuel use stands at 80%. Next. Great, this is how we earn money. We earn revenue through direct sales of our E1 stoves and clean planets to households, vendors, and farmers through circle groups as channels. Next. In the year 2021, we have been able to raise a total revenue of $5,000 and 436 units of E1 stocks have been sold since 2019. 651 kilograms of E1 clean pellet have been sold, and we have reached 1,200 smallholders, farmers, and households. Next. Well, by using recycled material, the product costs only $50. It is also more reliable, clean, and convenient than gas stoves and open fire, like firewood and charcoal, which is dependent on weather. Next. We are seeking for seed funding of $75,000, with 60% of it will go directly into scaling up production, and 40% will go directly into marketing and sales to increase distribution network with regional and international market. Next. Well, this is the team working hand in hand to make E1 happen. Kalama Alex Calvin is the Chief Technical Officer and Anua Emmanuel is the Marketing Director with 3 years experience in sales. Next. Great. In the next 3 years, we shall have our clean cooking affordable solution in 3 million households. Ladies and gentlemen, cooking with firewood was discovered 1 million years ago. We are in the 21st century. Why are we still using the Stone Age technology? Come work with us and let's make E1 a reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. I'm so glad we could hear you. So now with our judges, who has questions for him? Davor, please.
Yeah, I was interested. Which one is the product? Is it the pot, the stove, the burning materials? Like, what is exactly the product, or is it all of them?
The product is the stove and the clean pallets. So we have two.
Right, the pallets. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, is there any other questions for him? Matthias.
Yeah, thank you for the great work. Very interesting. I'm wondering, and I hope I didn't miss it, but I'm wondering about the current traction. Have you sold any? Is this already operational? How many people are using this? What stage is this in? I didn't get a very good sense of that from the slides. Thank you.
Great. We have so far sold 436 E1 stock units since 2019, and we have about 1,200 people who are using our product, both locally and in the international market, from the village and in the city. So we focus basically on the rural households who are using firewood for cooking currently, and we want to shift them from using firewood to our clean technology. I don't know if I did the question.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Great.
Interesting. Thank you.
Great. Is there any more questions for Joseph? Agustina?
Yeah. I have a question, Joseph, especially about the pallets. How accessible are they for small income people? Because here in Argentina, we have similar projects, but it's more expensive for them to use these pallets instead of, firewood that they find in near them, or buying in a gas. I really don't know, or buying gas for themselves.
The pellet is really cheaper. 6 kilogram goes for 10,000 Uganda shillings, and 6 kilogram can last for about 2 weeks in use. It is recyclable and it is reusable. So the residue, we can still use it as to make a new product, or they can use it for making agricultural fertilizer.
Thank you, very interesting.
Great.
Ram, I think you had a question as well.
Yeah, I'm just thanks Joseph for the presentation. I saw a couple of photos where there's a solar panel beside your stove. I'm trying to understand, is solar panel part of your product, or is just like a for it's just there?
The solar panels is part of the product because the stove is powered by biopellets, because the biopellets needs a lot of oxygen supply. So the solar product acts as an energy booster, which runs. We have a fan beside the stove, and during night time when our end users who are deep in the village, they don't have access to electricity. So the solar product can also act as a lighting device during the night time. We can also use it for reading or other charging phones and all that. It is part of the product.
Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you so much, Joseph. Congratulations on your presentation. And now we're going to our last presentation of the session. And after this presentation, we're going to share with you the link for the audience to vote. So with you all now, Rizvana from HydroCool Plus.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, am I audible? Yes, sounds like I am. Okay. And I will share my screen. Can we see it?
Yes.
Okay. So. Hello, everyone. My name is Rizvana Ridita, and I'm this co-founder and COO of HydroCool Plus. I'm sorry, can I just, I'm not able to see the screen. Hello?
Hi.
Hello? Yes.
We could see
Are you
it.
able to?
Now we can't anymore. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, that's great. Okay. So it's, okay. Yes. Sorry, can I restart? It was just it blanked out. Thank you so much. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Rizvana Ridita. I'm the co-founder and COO of HydroCool Plus. I'm sure everyone here will agree that every human being has a right to realize their true potential and live in a world which is secure and equitable for everyone. And within that environment, it is extremely important to ensure that everyone has access to clean drinking water, which is a significant resource to sustain life. And this is where innovation and technology play a vital role in ensuring safety and water efficiency. Therefore, getting access to or enabling access to clean drinking water is simply non-negotiable. In this era, through innovation, political will, and proper action, nature can find a valuable ally in technology to restore balance and get ahead of the game. And this is where HydroCool Plus comes in. At HydroCool Plus, we deliver real-time water intelligence on water quality and safety for proactive health insights. We combine sensor technology and enterprise-grade software to provide actionable data analytics for utilities to effectively monitor water quality. Water is one of the most precious resources, and yet utilities and organizations trying to solve these have enormous challenges they face every day. Utilities in South Asia often struggle with managing the water they use, dispose, and distribute across network. This issue is made worse due to their reliance on traditional methods, such as manual, lab-based, intermittently done tests, often taking up to weeks, and also limited by number of samples a lab can handle, as they're usually under-resourced. And finally, the infrequent calibrations, furthermore, don't really provide you the true quality or is not representative of the real-time quality of the water, leading to localized outbreaks. And this is just the case, like cholera outbreak just 2 days ago in Dhaka again. This is where HydroCool Plus comes in, providing autonomous testing with lab-accurate results that is interoperable, providing turnkey analysis from a modular hardware. Hydroco Plus has automated high-frequency water quality testing and reporting. Instead of taking days before gaining visibility into the water, utilities can now monitor and report on over 12 parameters, water quality parameters, in real time in taking pre-treatment and treatment decisions. To date, Hydroco Plus systems have benefited 250,000 residents alone in Bangladesh, reducing the cost of each sample to as low as $0.01 to a large market valued at $600 billion, which is expected of the interest with potential revenue of, yes.
Your
Hello?
audio was breaking. Can you just repeat the last, I don't know, 20 seconds?
Sure. So this opens us up to, this opens us up to a large market valued at 600 billion, expected to grow to 1 trillion. And we aim to address 75% of the mass water infrastructure with a potential revenue of $7 billion, tapping into public water utility, agricultural sector, and treatment plants. Our water data as a service model enables stakeholders to offset the cost of the device while enjoying significant ROI with zero CapEx. Our cross-functional interdisciplinary team of physicists and engineers is obsessed with data and has deep expertise in analytics and security. We are also advised by leading professionals from Goldman Sachs, DuPont, and World Bank. 2.2 billion people around the globe lack access to safe drinking water, and fresh, clean water accounts for only 0.03% of all water available globally. If you want to do something about it, you can close your eyes and magically wish for it to go away. And if nothing happens, you can join us to impact the lives of millions with water data that does not exist today. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Now with our judges for our last round of questions.
Here is one great presentation.
Hi. Thank you.
Can you go to the TAM slide?
To the what slide? Sorry?
The market slide. Yeah, total addressable market.
Addressable market. This is the one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So when you say 600 billion, is that a global or is it what exactly market?
It is the global.
And right now you're currently working in Bangladesh, right?
We're working in Bangladesh, yes.
And any idea what is the market of the Bangladesh?
Right now, the thing is there are so many challenges. We're trying to aim at $7 billion in Bangladesh alone. So with the challenges here, like we have something called the district meter area, which is a fairly new water distribution network system that the water utility has adopted. Dhaka right now has 150 out of 350 deployed underground, and Chittagong and other districts in Bangladesh, they're undergoing that. They are yet to have that, even like the first one, they're still not in the phase of construction. So with we have only deployed one device, which kind of like gives you access at the main source. You can see the 250,000 residents, like the household it's going into. So we are right now undergoing the process of deploying 10. So can you just repeat your question again? How do we address the $7 billion market?
Yes.
So this is like with the population of over $165 million. This is where we stand. Like with our study, in Bangladesh alone, we have $7 billion. And this is a model which is scalable because the device we use, wherever there is flow, it is something you can implement right away there. So this is a scalable solution. And also, right now we are in the process of securing a pilot with DEWA, Dubai Energy Water Authority. So this is where we stand. So that market is yet to be explored, but currently this is a position with Hydroco. I hope that answers your question.
Augustina, please.
Vanya, thank you for your presentation. Maybe it was because the audio quality was not good, but it seems unclear the client you are approaching. The business model is B2B, B2C. Who are or which person you plan to sell the product?
So sure. Thank you for your question. Right now it is B2G. It is also scalable to like private industries, but we're focusing on, because this was actually a research done in third year by our main founder, Zahin Razin. And recently, like just a couple of days ago, just 3 days ago, it was also recognized by MIT. We actually got the top 10 solver award from MIT for this. And so this was something that was on paper, and it was pivoted, and then we came to a solution where we want to go to the main source of the problem rather than go to the tap end, like every household. That was initially the plan, but it wasn't really practically feasible. So right now it is a B2G model, but we are also, again, like, extending this to RMG sector, the ready-made garment sector in the ETP, which kind of like is set up to clean up the water. It is like a waste treatment facility, effluent treatment plant. And then also we are in Sylhet, we have another project with solar panel, so floating solar. So managing kind of, because land is expensive now, and we want to place it on water bodies while maintaining and monitoring the quality of water, so that it does nothing to the lives, like underwater lives of all the living creatures. So this is something still very ambitious for us, but right now we are working with government called WASA. In Chittagong WASA, we are also scaling there. We are working in Dubai with Dubai Water Authority, and we are also Zahin is like wrapping up the meeting there, and as soon as he's back, we'll be scaling with the garments factory here as well.
Great. We also have a question from Aronav. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the presentation, Rizwana. So my question is, so you sort of mentioned that, you have one device that is closer to the source of the water, and that sort of services about 250K households. Right. So I wonder if you have a view of where along the water, the supply chain, or rather the water infrastructure, the contamination actually occurs. And as a sort of follow-up to that, what kind of resolution can you achieve, in terms of the geographical data?
Yes. Are you able to see my screen still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So you can see this is the device. This is actually the first layer of our implementation. And we intend on doing, once we have enough, this is the sensor, which actually is the pipe insertion model, which goes there, the Hydroco, Hydroco Plus machine, and this is inserted in the pipe. And what you see here is actually a very idealistic environment, because this is actually a training center which is set up for water authority to host people coming from Nepal, from the water utility sector, and training their staff as well, and also hosting other people that come. So this was actually placed under the manhole at Asad Gate. And that, it was a lot crazier going under the manhole, scooping things up. It was kind of like venturing into the unknown, and risk was pretty high. So this is actually where we deploy it, absolutely underground, like deep sea divers. And then once we start collecting it, this is actually set up to the lab. You see, this is near a microbiology lab. So this is, we set it up at the main route, and then we need to have more sensors so that you have a better assessment, because we intend on integrating it with a simulation software so that it works like an MRI. And when you have problem, you can go straight to the point of problem instead of having to kind of dig up the street, go through a rigorous construction, which blocks up all the streets, and then there is flood, and then there is traffic. So to bypass all that problem and save that cost, we need to have some more sensors. I hope that makes sense. And this is actually towards the main, this is where you can say this is the root instead of the branch. Yeah.
Great job. Thank you, Rizwana.
Thank you so much.
So this was our last pitch in this session. We still have a second session today with the other half of the UNOS and Youth Fellows. Before I share the QR code for everyone to vote on their favorite pitch from the audience, I just want to say how proud I am of you guys. It's fantastic. I get emotional to see how much you developed and how much you've grown since you joined the fellowship, since our selection process. I haven't mentioned this, but we had almost 3,000 people applying to join the Yunus and You Fellowship this year. And we selected these 36 fantastic entrepreneurs. And I'm just so incredibly proud to see how much effort, how much time. You can imagine how many activities we asked them to do, how many meetings, calls, WhatsApp messages, emails. So I just want to say that for us from the Yunus and You team, you're all winners. You're all fantastic. You have put so much effort. So I'm just really proud of you guys. I get emotional when we get to this point. I think this is my favorite part of the fellowship. So this is just the first session. In the afternoon, we have a second session as well. So we won't be sharing yet the judges' scores. This will be shared after we do all the sessions. But right now, I'm going to share with you this link that has been, I see people on YouTube can't stop asking us for it. So finally, here it is. I hope you can see my screen, right? Okay, so, so here it is, our QR code and the link for you to choose your favorite pitch of the session. While you vote, I'm going to share with you the prizes. So as I mentioned, we have fantastic judges who have been doing a hard work today, putting the scores for all the parameters we shared with you. We'll have a first prize today that will win $1,000 to invest in their business. Just a second before Jenny and Pedro are not on the list, please, I ask the team to fix this and put the link back on. And while we do that, I'm going to go back to the prizes. So the first prize will win $1,000 to invest in their business. And as you heard today, $1,000 can go and help a lot of people. In addition to that, we have prizes from the Oracle for startups, our partners, that will be giving $5,000 to the first three prizes. In addition to an exclusive account manager, mentorship, and access to a global network of customers for 2 years. They will also be winning $1,000 in LinkedIn Premium credits and free pass to attend the Change Now Summit that will happen in Paris this year. So from what I see, we have fixed the link. So sorry about that. We're going to go back to voting. And I'm also going to be sharing with you now the prizes for the audience's favorite. So the ones who win today will gain $2,000 in Oracle for Startups Cloud credits, $1,000 in LinkedIn Premium credits as well, and free passes to attend the Change Now Summit. And for all of you, I also want to share this additional prize that is just fantastic. So we have a beautiful partnership with the One Young World Summit, and we thank the Citigroup as well for this support. We'll be sending the most engaged Yunus and You Fellow to the United Kingdom to attend the One Young World Summit this year, with all expenses paid, flights, tickets, accommodation, meals, everything fully covered. So after announcing the prizes, I want to invite the over 300 people who have joined us to watch this 3-hour session. If any of you want to join the next Yunus and You Fellowship, please go to our website and subscribe to our mailing list. Very soon we will be opening applications again, and perhaps you'll be in the next in the next class that we have. So I want to ask the team, are we ready to share who's the audience's favorite? Let me see. I want to ask the team. Okay, a few more seconds for you guys to vote. So if you still haven't voted, please, we're giving you a few more seconds. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready to present? Just confirming so I don't say anything wrong at this moment. I get nervous. Okay, we have the winner. We have the winner. Apparently, this person. Okay, I'm not going to give any tips before. Because if I say anything, you'll know who this person is. Okay, so if you are in our YouTube stream, you probably have seen a lot of fans that for the past 3 hours have been saying, we should vote for this person. So I'm going to say the winner from the audience's pick is Ivana, founder of Data Género. Ivana, congratulations.
Thank you. We have a huge community of people that are really supporting us. So I'm really, really happy and glad. And thank you so much. They were really excited for this because it's our first big competition and my first pitch ever. So thank you.
Oh my God, your first pitch ever. You did a great job. And honestly, I couldn't vote. I'll never be able to choose any of you because you're all my favorites. And I want to congratulate all of you. Later today, we'll know who the winners of the other prizes are. And congratulations, Ivana. Congratulations to all of you. I'm incredibly proud. And I just want to thank all of you for staying with us up until now. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope you join us for the second session that's coming up in a couple of hours. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.